Are you thinking about purchasing a home? Or what about buying a home? Which one should you do? Stay tuned. I got you covered. Hello, and welcome back to Lynette Selby Real Estate. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Lynette Selby, and I am a licensed real estate agent in Greensboro, North Carolina, with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Yost and Little Realty. And in this episode, we are going to talk about the pros and cons of renting and buying a home. Have you wondered if now is the right time to buy? Let's talk about some of the pros in purchasing a home. Number one, by owning a home, you will build equity over time, and equity equals wealth. So that is like the number one main pro of owning a home. Number two, your home value is likely to increase over the years. So as time goes by, your home value will increase. And that too is a very, very good thing. Number three, there are nice tax benefits of being a homeowner. So for more information about that, because I am not a tax professional, please refer to your accountant or talk to a tax professional for all of the perks associated with being a homeowner. And number four is freedom. You have freedom to customize your home the way that you want to do it. If you want to paint your walls blue, paint them blue. If you want to paint your walls gray, you can do that too. When you are purchasing a home, you have that freedom to do and decorate your home the way that you want to do it versus having to go through your landlord to see if you can, what is allowed and what isn't allowed. And number five, the sense of home stability. When you are purchasing a home, chances are you will be in that home for at least the next 5 to 10 years. So it gives you a sense of stability when you are purchasing a home. So now that we've talked about some of the pros in purchasing a home, let's talk about some of those cons. We have to talk about them. So the first one is the cost associated with purchasing a home can really add up. Let's talk about it. You got to think about your down payments. That can range anywhere between 3 and 20%, just depending on the type of loan that you have. You will also need money for closing costs, due diligence fees, your earnest money deposits, and the list goes on and on and on because you have your inspections, appraisal fees, and all of those things can add up. And then number two, some of the cons of purchasing a home is that you will be responsible for all of the maintenance and the repairs that are needed in the home. No more calling your landlord to tell them that you need to have them come by and fix your AC unit or your garbage disposal has messed up and they need to come and fix that. All of those things are your responsibility as a homeowner. So no more calling the landlord to fix things when you are purchasing a home. Number three, you have less flexibility to move. So if you are one that likes to travel around, likes to move from place to place, then maybe purchasing a home may not be the right thing for you at this moment. When you are purchasing a home, it takes a lot to move. If you're not planning on renting out your home, then before you can move, you would have to put it on the market and sell it. So when you're renting, you don't really have to do that. When your lease is up, you're gone. So that's another con with purchasing a home. And number four, it is rare. It is very rare, but there are times when your home value can decrease and not increase. So, that's something to think about when you're purchasing a home. Now, let's talk about some of the pros to renting, because there are some pros to renting a home. So the freedom, like we talked about, the freedom to move around. You can move around, if you want to sign a 6-month, 1-year lease and you fulfill your lease and you're ready to move. All you got to do is let them know you're not renewing your lease. You pack up and you move on to the next place. Whereas when you're buying, it's not quite that simple. Number two, another pro in renting versus buying is that you are not responsible for the repairs. So if something does go wrong in the house, let's just say the house or the apartment, let's say the air conditioner goes out. You as the tenant does not have to worry about getting that repaired. those fees and that repair is totally on the landlord, not you. So number 3, another pro to renting is you don't have all of those expensive initial fees that you would incur when you are purchasing a home. For example, when you're signing your lease, chances are you would have to pay your security deposit and your first month's rent, and that's it. Whereas when you are buying a home, you have your down payments. You have to worry with down payments, your closing costs, earnest money, due diligence, home inspections. And like I said, that list just goes on. And those things really do add up. So that's another pro to renting. And number 4, you have a set housing expense. Let's just say if your rent is $1,000, for the duration of your lease that your rent will be $1,000 every month. Whereas with mortgages, sometimes those payments can fluctuate a little bit, especially if you have an adjustable rate mortgage. Stay tuned. We're going to do a video on that soon too. But if you're doing an adjustable rate mortgage, then your payments can kind of go up and down, and there's really no set. Just as it says, it's an adjustable rate mortgage. So that rate will adjust, and when the rate adjusts, so can your mortgage payment. So some of the cons of renting is you don't build equity when you rent. So you are paying money every single month to a landlord, and you are not reaping those benefits. You are paying your landlord's mortgage and not your own. So that is a big con for renting. Number 2 is when you rent, you have limitations on customizing your living space. So like we were talking about, if you wanted to paint or if you wanted to make some changes to your living space, you would have to run that by the landlord and ask them, get their permission if it's okay to make these changes. Whereas when you're buying, you are in control of that and you can make all the changes that you want. Well, let me take that back, depending on if there is an HOA. If there's an HOA, again, we're going to make a video about that soon. But if there is an HOA, then you may be limited on what you can and cannot do. So number 3, your rent will likely increase over time. I know we talked about your rent staying the same, but when I'm saying that your rent will likely increase over time is when your lease is up and you have to sign a new lease, that landlord can decide to up your rent. And, with no rhyme or reason, they just let you know, hey, you're paying $1,000 a month. You were paying that in this previous lease. Going forward, I have decided to increase your rent to $1,500. And you have 2 choices. You either have to pay it or you're going to have to find somewhere else to go. So that is a con, definitely, when you're renting. Another con is your landlord can decide at any time that he wants to sell or stop renting that unit to you. And if he does decide to sell when you are in a lease, that the new owner that comes in will have to honor your lease. But after that lease is up, if they decide that they want to live in the home themselves, or if they want to rent it out to someone else, they have that right. So that's another con when you are thinking about renting. And the 5th con is the limited sense of home stability. So, you don't feel settled. Some people don't feel settled when they are, when they're renting. They're in the back of their mind, they're thinking about, when am I going to have to make my next move? When am I going to have to find my next apartment or my next home? So that lack of home stability is definitely there when you are renting. So now that we have discussed all of the pros, all of the cons of renting a home or purchasing a home, which one is best for you? I've created a rent versus buying guide. So to receive your free copy, all you have to do is check out the description box and click that downloadable link. That way it'll take you over to a page where you can download that rent versus buying guide. And that can help you decide which one will be best for you. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and just remember, I release videos every Thursday. So if you like this type of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. So until next week, I will see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.